What's up, guys? I thought I would give you a cheeky little live session before this week, before this weekend or this Thursday starts. So this Thursday we're going to do AE 300, so episode of Aussie English, the Aussie English podcast, episode 300. Can't believe 300 is already here. We're going to do this Thursday. This Thursday is going to be a live session, and I think the time that I have it slotted in for is 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the evening, Melbourne time, Eastern Standard Australian time. We're going to do that, episode 300. So I want you to give me as many questions as possible. This is going to be a Q&A live session. I already have about 6 or 7 questions for me to answer for you guys. I want you to ask me anything and everything with regards to Australia, with regards to English, with regards to me, whatever it is. If you've got something you want me to answer, put it in the comments here or put it on the post. Send it to me in a message on Facebook. Whatever you want, give me your questions and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can on Thursday. Until Thursday, let's do some Aussie slang terms. So I had a friend give me this little book. I don't know if it's back the front. It's probably back the front for you guys because it is for me. This is the Australian Slang Dictionary and it has 900, I was about to say 1900, 900 different slang terms and expressions for Aussie English. So that's going to take a while for me to get through. But I thought that today we could start by going through the first page. So we can go through maybe 30 or so. What do you guys reckon? Meanwhile, before we get started, one more time, episode 300 is going to be live this Thursday evening, 7 o'clock my time here in Melbourne. And I want you to put as many questions as possible down below for me to answer. So I know I've said that about 10 times now. We'll get started, but questions. Give me your questions. All right, number 1, sparrows fart. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this one before. We've definitely talked about this. I think in the episode that I did with Emily, the live episode with Emily, that was, we mentioned sparrows fart. If you get up at sparrows fart, you wake up at dawn. You wake up at sunrise. The basic idea there being that a sparrow, which is a very small bird, a sparrow, he's sitting on his nest and he's leant sideways and gone and woken himself up. Sparrows fart. So sparrows fart is at dawn. Oh, damn, I've got to get up at sparrows fart. AC/DC. I've heard this one, but I wouldn't use it. That's apparently AC/DC means bisexual. So you're into boys and you're into girls. I've got that marked as I don't use it. Up to you guys, but AC/DC is also a famous band in Australia, AC/DC. So you'll know that song, Thunder. Na, 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 thunder. Ace. Number 3, ace. Excellent. Very good. We've done this one before. I think it was an ace explanation. Aussie English is an ace podcast. I think it's ace. It's good. It's excellent. Ace. Aerial ping pong. Aerial ping pong is a slang term for Australian rules footy. Ping pong is the game that you play. It's called table tennis, and you hit the ping pong ball, the tiny little ball that's like white or orange, back and forth with bats. Ping pong. So aerial ping pong would be where it's going up and down in the air. Aerial ping pong. And it's sort of a derogatory term that people would use for Australian rules footy, Aussie rules footy. Aerial ping pong. Aggro. Aggro means aggressive. If someone's aggro, it means that they are aggressive, an aggro person, an aggressive person. He's really angry. He's always aggro. He's really rude. He's upset about something and he's getting a little bit aggro, and he is aggro. So if you're aggro, you're incredibly aggressive and nasty. And the basic idea there, I guess, if we talk about how we've turned a word into an Aussie slang word that ends with an O, most of these that you're going to hear, it's that they've taken off everything except for the very, very first syllable, in this sense, ag, and then they've just put an O on the end to make it 2 syllables. Agro. Airy-fairy. So if you're a little bit airy-fairy, it means that you're a little bit fancy or a little bit vague. I would probably use this more in the sense that someone is a bit vague. So if I said to a friend, did you want to come over this weekend? We'll go play some aerial ping pong, go play some footy. If they said, yeah, I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure, I might, I haven't decided, that's really vague. So if they're being vague, if they're not really sure, they're indecisive, they're undecided, I could say that they are being airy-fairy. They can't decide, they can't choose. But you could also use airy-fairy to talk about someone who's very fancy and prefers, incredibly high quality tea. You might say that they are incredibly airy-fairy kind of people, upper class, airy-fairy. But I would mostly use this to talk about someone who's vague and can't decide on something. He's yes, he's no, he's maybe, he's airy-fairy. What's the next one? An akubra. A kubra is a kind of hat. An akubra is a kind of hat worn by bushmen, worn by farmers to keep the sun off people's heads. An akubra. If you're all ears, are you guys all ears? Are you guys all ears? It means, are you all ears? Are you listening? Are you taking note? Are you listening to me? Are you guys all ears? So it's almost like you've got ears all over you and all you're doing is listening. You're all ears. All ears. Are you listening? All smiles. A smile is obviously when your mouth is wide and you're happy. A smile. I smile a lot. And if you're all smiles, it means that you are very happy. It's like all you ever do is smile. You're all smiles. You're covered in smiles. Smiles everywhere. You're all smiles. You're always happy. You're all smiles. The next slang term, all the go. If something is all the go, or you could also say it's all the rage, it means that it is incredibly popular. It's a new way of doing something that's really popular. Say someone's created a new way of using a surfboard, that's got 4 fins instead of 3 fins. If all of a sudden everyone starts using these new surfboards with 4 fins because they're popular, you could say it's all the rage, or you could say it's all the go. So it's something that everyone's doing. It's all the go. It's all the rage. You should be doing it too if you want to be popular like me. All the go, all the rage. This one's getting a little bit ruder, but who cares? We love rude English, especially in Australia, guys. Always in the shit. Always in the shit. So if you are always in the shit, or if I'm always in the shit, it means that I'm always in trouble. I'm always in trouble. So you can imagine that if you've ended up in the shit, it means that you've ended up in trouble. If you're in the shit, it's somewhere you don't want to be, right? If you've stepped in shit, you're in the shit. It's not ideal. It's not what you want. It's undesirable. It's trouble. It's something that you wish wasn't the case. So if you end up in the shit, you've ended up in trouble. You've done something wrong. Maybe something terrible's happened. So for instance, if I went to work and it had been found out that I'd been stealing from work. So I'd been stealing office chairs because I have a real interest in filling my bedroom with office chairs. So I've stacked up my bedroom full of office chairs that I've stolen from work. If they found out at work and they said, come into my office, let's have a chat. And I would think, okay, I'm in the shit. They've worked out that I've stolen all these chairs. I'm in the shit. In the shit. You're in trouble. Amber fluid. Amber fluid, this is beer. Beer is the color of amber. And amber is that kind of rock that you will find insects inside of. It's like glass that you can see through. It's kind of yellow. It's the color of beer. So we often refer to beer as the amber fluid. It's the color of amber, the amber fluid. Amber is that rock. You will have seen it if you've seen Jurassic Park, the movie. Amber was the rock that was on his staff that had a mosquito in that they took DNA from. That was amber. So amber fluid is beer. All right, ambo. Here's another slang term that ends with an O. What do you guys think an ambo is? An ambo is an ambulance or an ambulance officer, so a paramedic. If you hurt yourself at home and you need help, you might call the ambos. So we've taken ambulance, and we've removed all of the rest of the word except for amb, and we've just put an O. Ambo. Ambo. Ambos, ambo, it's talking about the car as well as the people in the car that go and collect people and then take them back to hospital to heal them. The ambos. The anchors. This is one I might not really use, but an anchor is the thing that a boat has, and it drops. It's shaped like a hook, two hooks. It's dropped to catch in the ground, and then it's used to stop the boat, secure the boat. If you use the anchors or you implement the anchors when we're driving around, you're talking about the brakes in the car. So you might say to someone, hit the anchors, maybe put the anchors down. What does it say here? And then I threw on the anchors. So throw on is in like use. I suddenly went bang, hit the brakes, I threw on the anchors. That just means that I've put on the brakes to slow the car down. So an anchor is used to slow a boat down. This is just a euphemism for using the brakes in a car. Imagine throwing the anchor out the back of a car and having it smash along the road, catch, and then slow the car down. You've hit the anchors. What else have we got here? All right. An ankle biter. Ankle biter is one that I've definitely heard. An ankle biter is a small child. An ankle biter is a small child. The idea here being that they can bite your ankles. And the ankle is this part of your leg. So if they're biting your ankles, they're very, very small. Kind of annoying. You might even refer to a dog, those really annoying dogs as ankle biters, but this would most oftenly be used to refer to children. So yeah, I've got a few ankle biters at home. Got a few kids at home. Ankle biters, small children. Ants in your pants. If you've got ants in your pants, it means you're antsy. It means that you can't sit still, that you are always moving around, you keep fidgeting, you can't relax, you can't chill out, you got ants in your pants. So if, say, I went to the movies and one of my mates was sitting next to me, but he was, moving around, he couldn't get himself comfortable, and he was really sort of agitated / just keeps fidgeting, I would say, what's wrong with you, dude? Have you got ants in your pants or something? Basic idea there being that if you get an ant, the small insect with 6 legs, and you put it in your pants, it's unlikely that you're going to sit still. I would imagine that if I had ants all throughout my pants, I would not be sitting still, especially if they were the kind of ants that sting. And the kind of ants that sting in Australia that are really horrible are called bull ants and jumping jacks. I used to have jumping jacks, these little ants with orange fangs or orange mandibles around our house. And I remember one time they were like ankle biters because they got onto my leg, bit my ankle, and it swelled up and I couldn't put my shoes on. Those things were horrible. She'll be apples. I think we've talked about this one before, guys. If you hear someone say she'll be right or she'll be apples, she will be right. She will be apples, like the fruit, an apple. It just means that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. She'll be apples. She'll be right. I don't know why we use the pronoun she and not he, because we never say he'll be right, he's right, or he's apples. We'd never say that. We always use she. And I think it's because, especially in the country here in Australia, you will get blokes, Aussie blokes, that kind of use she, the pronoun she, as a term of endearment for things. So they might refer to their car as she. She'll be right, mate. Oh, just, get in her. We'll go for a drive. She's good. They'll refer to things that they like, that they use as female. I don't know why they do that, but that's where I think she'll be right comes from. What else have we got here? Arse. We use arse. Here's another sort of really weak swear word. We use arse to refer to our bum, to refer to our bottom. And I won't show you this part of my body, unlike the ankle. Arse is your bum. So I'm sitting on my arse. The key difference here is that in American English, and I'm sure you guys probably all know the word, they say ass. So it's a different vowel sound. Arse, ass. Arse, ass. So you might hear expressions like something came back and bit me in the arse. You'll hear me say that, bit me in the arse. Americans will say it bit them in the ass. Arse, ass. There you go. Oh, we got a few expressions here using arse, which is good. Get your ass into gear, or get your ass into gear. Into gear, that's how I'd say it. Get your ass into gear. Get your ass into gear. Gear is what you use in a car, 6 gears. If you put it in gear, the car starts working, starts functioning. If you put your ass into gear, it means that you get moving. You start to function. So, for instance, my dad might say to my mum, if we needed to go somewhere, and she was taking forever to work her stuff out, to get organised, she's putting her makeup on, or she's putting a dress on, and she's, are these the right earrings? I don't know, should I wear this necklace? Dad might say to my mum, Mum, get your ass into gear, let's go. Get your ass into gear, start moving, get moving, let's leave, let's go do what we need to do. So get your ass into gear, let's get moving. Arse about, to arse about. So this is where we're using the word arse as a verb. We're using it as a verb. Arse about. We can also say to arse around, arse about, arse around. The basic idea here is that, and I'm double checking, something is, no, they've used it the wrong way. I would say it as you're wasting time, you're arsing about, you're being lazy, you're wasting time, you're not doing anything efficiently, you're arsing about, you're stuffing around, you're wasting time. What they've said on here, if it's arse about, they've said here that it's something is back the front. So instead of like this, it's like this. But I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it's all arse about, which is their example. I think that's wrong. I wouldn't use that. Arse about means to arse around, to waste time. To go arse over tit. There's a few of these. There's some swear words, guys, but I know you guys don't have faint hearts. You're going to be fine. If you go arse over tit, or if you are arse over tit, tit is a kind of relatively benign word for breasts. So if I was a woman, this would be one tit, this would be the other tit, and the arse is obviously down here. If I go arse over tit, my arse is above my tit, or tits, if it's plural. I would have 2 of them, I would imagine. So if you go arse over tits, it means that you're out of control, you're spinning, you're doing somersaults, you're going head over heels, you're inverting. So if you started rolling down a hill, you tripped over and you fell, you started rolling down a hill, you could say, oh, I tripped and went arse over tit down the hill. So it's usually used when you fall over and roll, or you trip over and roll. You go head over heels, or head over arse, or you can just say you went head over tit. Arse over tit, arse over tit. What else have we got here? Arvo. I'm sure you guys all know what arvo is, afternoon. Again, if we want to make a word in English a slang term, we often reduce it down to just 2 syllables, arvo. So we've taken afternoon, we've removed to noon, and just put an O on the end, and we have arvo. So that's one way that you can kind of intuit these things when you hear them. Just think, it's obviously shortened. What's the context? And then, yeah, that's what it is. Afternoon, arvo. We use that a lot. It's the arvo. What are you doing the savo? Did you want to catch up tomorrow? Arvo. Arvo. That's a good one. Definitely use it. At the drop of a hat. I think I covered this one recently with you guys. If you do something at the drop of a hat, you do it incredibly quickly. So imagine that a race is starting, someone's taken their hat off, and the cue to start racing is dropping the hat. So it goes really fast, hits the ground. If you do something at the drop of a hat, you do it really quickly. And they've said here, it's doing something without much encouragement, so you don't have to be told to do it. So I imagine that if someone, was sitting on the couch watching TV and suddenly disappeared, ran out the front, went off to the shops to get some booze, to get some beer or something, you could say at the drop of a hat, sort of like all of a sudden, without any notice, the person disappeared. He disappeared at the drop of a hat. What else have we got here? You know what Aussie is. I hope you know what Aussie is by now. Aussie is short for Australian. The Aussie salute. You probably saw me doing this if you were watching last year during summer when I was outside. I was always doing these ones. These ones meaning this action. And it was because I had flies in my face all the time. So I was always having to get the flies out of my face by moving my hand in front of my face. And this gets referred to as the Aussie salute because it's kind of like doing this. Like, people in the army or in the military, they might do this. You'll see Australians doing this all the time in summer, and it can be called the Aussie salute. Trying to get flies out of your face, Bloody flies. Getting near the end now. Similar to arvo, which is a longer vowel sound, arvo, the word avo. Avo is short for avocado. Those really good fruit that are really high in fats and oils. Green, a little bit yellow, big seed in the center, kind of squishy. You'd make guacamole from them. I love avos. I often buy avos at the store, at the shops, when I go to the groceries. Love an avo, have an avo, have an avo. Avos are great. Sounds similar to arvo, but is a shorter vowel. Avo, avo. All right, we'll do one more. What have we got here? Back of beyond. I know this one, but I haven't really used it. I wouldn't use it. Back of beyond. So I guess that would be like, if you're beyond something, it means that you're further than that thing. And if you're behind that thing, or you're at the back of that thing, if you're behind beyond or at the back of beyond, it's like you're off in the middle of nowhere. And this just says a long way out into the bush or outback. So he's in the back of beyond. He's in the back of beyond. He's out in the middle of nowhere. He's out in the sticks. We often refer to the bush as the sticks. Anywhere away from the city we'll call the sticks, like a twig or something off a tree, the sticks. And the idea being forest. So if you're in the sticks, you're away from the city, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in the back of beyond. And I could also say you're not within a QE of anywhere of interest. So you're in the middle of nowhere, back of beyond. So that's the lesson for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Today was just a reminder. I decided to get on here and remind you that I'm going to be running episode 300 on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Melbourne time, Australia time, 7 p.m. Come on live. I'm going to do as many live questions as I can. So that was the purpose of today's episode. It was for you guys to put as many questions down here as possible. Give me all the questions. I want all the questions. It can be about me. It can be about Australia, what it's like to live in Australia, Aussie culture, English, Aussie English, slang, anything you want. Anything you want. Put the comments down here though. Ask your questions. I've got a list on my computer. I'm going to add up all these questions and I'm going to try and answer as many as I can. I guess I had a few other announcements that I wanted to make as well. I'm going to change the Aussie English Supporter Pack trial period from 1 month back to, from 1 week back to a month, because it seems like a few people weren't happy with the trial period only being a week. So I'm going to make it a month again. We'll see if that works better. Hopefully you guys will stick around. So as I've mentioned previously, if you want to learn English fast, if you want to learn Australian English fast and you like studying, you want all the bonus exercises that I create, the MP3s that I create for all of the expression episodes that come out on the podcast, then go to the website, www.theaussieenglishpodcast.com, and click Learn English Faster. Go check it out. See what you think. There is a free episode for you to check out. So go through, write out all the exercises, listen to the exercises, see if it's something you enjoy. When you sign up, you'll get a weekly episode to be able to practice your Aussie English. You'll also get access to the Aussie English virtual classroom where I run daily exercises for you guys to practice things like prepositions, phrasal verbs as well. And I'm also going to break apart these episodes and focus in on some of these things like slang terms and then extend them out, make longer videos. So I'm fiddling around with it. I'm wanting to put as much more bonus content as I can on there and create the ultimate Aussie English learning experience on the Aussie English website. So yeah, go check it out, give it a go. As I said, I'm going to extend the trial period from 1 week to a month. I'm only telling you guys now. No one's going to know about this via the podcast until after episode 300. So if you want to get in there first, then go check it out. And yeah, all the questions, guys. Give me all the questions. I'll leave it at that. I hope you have an amazing week. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a share if you want to share the love for this channel. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. And thank you so much for showing up tonight. Have a good night, guys, and I'll chat to you soon. See you Thursday. G'day, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, if you want to support the channel financially, you can do so via my Patreon page, which is linked in the description below. If you can't afford to support the channel financially, you can still help by spreading the word and sharing the videos. Thanks so much, guys. Stay awesome. All the best.